Hi friends, this is Caitlin. Welcome back. I am so excited to be sharing this new stamp set with you. I'm going to be using today. This is Aloha Wheeze from Sweet November Stamps, and today we are actually celebrating their newest summer release with our YouTube hop. So I am just one of the hot stops on the hop today. I'm going to be pairing up this stamp set with one of the previous release Seaside Cliffs that came out earlier this year. And we are going to make the most adorable box scene card. This is one of my newest favorite things to make. I'm going to be using the outside the box dynamics from My Favorite Things, and we are going to be creating a whole little scene for our little Aloha Wheeze to live in. So really quickly before we get into our coloring, I am going to go through some of the details of the hop for you. So to play along, all you have to do is visit each of the YouTube accounts listed in the links below, subscribe to each channel, like each video, and leave a comment at each stop along the way. And it's a pretty short hop, so there's plenty of time to kind of get this done. It's not like you have to do 20 things in like one day. It's actually running from today, which is Saturday, June 17th, 2023, through Tuesday, May 20th. So you have all weekend and Monday and Tuesday. It'll close on Tuesday at midnight Eastern, I believe. And one randomly selected winner will be announced on Wednesday, the 21st, around 5 p.m. Pacific time. And you get the whole set. You get all 8 stamps. And that is my favorite thing about this whole giveaway hop, is that it's not just for like the one stamp set I'm using, it's for all of them. So if you would like a chance to win the whole new summer stamp set, all the details and specifics, if I missed anything, are down in the description below as well, with all of your hop stops along the way. And I just want to put out a disclaimer. I am a member of the Sweet November Stamps design team, so I was given the stamp set for free to use. I was not part of my design team program. I'm not required to make these videos or be in the YouTube hops. I just love these products, and I love Sweet November Stamps. If you're newer to them, they are a sister-owned company. Amy and T are absolutely amazing artists, amazing people to work with, amazing human beings. I've gotten to know them really well as all the other girls on the design team, and I just love them. So from a very genuine place in my heart, I hope that you'll either participate in the hop for a chance to win or go take a peek at the new sets and see if you could support them. Because they deserve the world, and their images are so stinking cute. So this summer release is really fun too, because it has a really fun mix of these kind of like beachy images, summer images, but also fairy tale. So if you are someone who's kind of not super into the beachy theme, or you're a little over summer already, it's been a little saturated in the market maybe, the fairy tale ones are beautiful for year-round use, and I'm definitely going to be putting some of those to use in the fall for Halloween too, because the little princesses can be colored however you want. So I have to obviously make a pumpkin princess. Okay, let me catch us back up on where we are with this card project. So I went ahead and stamped out my scene. I stamped my palm tree first. I was planning on doing the larger palm tree and the cliffs that are facing the other direction, but when I saw what the background I was working with for my outside the box dies, I decided that the smaller palm tree would fit a lot better, and because that's angling curved towards the right, I wanted the cliffs where the beach is coming in from the right, so that everything had a nice flow and your eye kind of follows all of those lines. So I switched up my cliff choice. I stamped in my palm tree and I masked that with a full stick post-it note, and then stamped my cliffs and then added those little birds at the top. Then I stamped out the little hula girl and the little hula boy. And I picked this girl specifically because I knew I was going to be fussy cutting, and I was not gonna torture myself and pick one that has, you know, the everything like super crazy details on the edges. So I like that this one is kind of a little more like a solid one piece. Nothing's kind of standing far out from her body. If this was going to be a flat scene card, obviously you could do which any of them that you wanted. But because I knew I was fussy cutting, I decided to just take it a little easier on myself. I'm using the same skin tones for both of my little characters. I went E15, 13, 11, and then just a tiniest touch of E00 on the very, very, very center of the face, and added in some blush on the little girl. I also used the same colors for both of their hair. I did E49, 59, and 57, and really made sure that I had a lot of that 49 in, because I really wanted the hair to be nice and dark and like really rich and saturated. I'm not gonna lie, in my head I started planning this out as if she was like Lilo from Lilo and Stitch, but I quickly realized that that's not really fair. And just trying to be culturally aware, I googled authentic hula dancers and then tried to kind of emulate their outfits for the rest of my choices, which, to be honest, were pretty close, because from what I've read, the Lilo and Stitch people really did their research and like went to Hawaii and all that stuff. So I'm not really surprised, but I did kind of just fact check myself to make sure that what I was picking was generally appropriate. And I decided to go for kind of tan, grassy skirts. And in most of the pictures I saw, they had green leafy skirts instead. But at this point it was a little too late, and I do like how the tan in the skirts kind of brings it back to the sand for the little shelves we're going to be inserting into our box. I gave the ukulele a kind of natural wood tone, going in with some E20 markers, and I used the same kind of brown shades on our scene. So I went in with some of those deeper browns for the coconuts. I used the same kind of 20 shades, 37, and then the 20s to shade in the actual palm tree bark. Not that I want everything to be the exact same colors, but when there's some repetition of color, I think it just helps make everything a little more harmonious. I went in with a G09 just to add in a little bit of a deeper true green to the base of those palm leaves, and then brought in the YG markers, again the same that I did on their little anklets and his headdress, so that again the colors would all just kind of nicely tie together, and the extra G marker just gives it a little hint of variation that I really like, because those leaves are so much bigger. There's room for 3 colors. Now for my water, I really wanted kind of that turquoisey, beautiful, clear water. So I went in with some soft BG markers, and then it was time to start adding in all of my sand. I am kind of just creating my own little like ripples in the sand, adding in some shading here and there, and especially emphasizing the shadows along the cliffs. Then I went in with my lighter shade, the 35. I think I did 37, 35, 33, and 31, something like that. I will try to have all the different colors listed in the description box below for you as well, but I always keep my marker caps on screen so you can see what I'm using in the moment. I didn't want the sand to be too super busy or crazy, just because I knew that the characters were going to go in front of it, and then with the shelves and everything else, some of it was going to get covered up anyway. And it's the background, right? It's not the main star of the show. I still want my little hula dancers to be the main emphasized feature. So for my cliffs, I went in with all warm grays. I wanted to kind of give that lava rock kind of cliff feel for these. So I went in with W9 first, which is super dark, but I wanted that really deep, rich color. And then I went in with W7 to start blending that out, and then 5, and then just the littlest touch of 3 on some of the places where the sun would be hitting this area the most. At this point, To be super honest with you, I had no idea what I was going to do for the sky. That's why I saved it till the end, so that I could kind of see how everything else was looking. Skies are still the thing that I'm the least confident about when I'm doing my coloring. And if I can like ink blend or do something else for the sky, I usually will. But this was such a small space that I figured I should at least try to color this today. So I decided to add a little sun, either sunrise or sunset. I'm not exactly sure. Really doesn't matter. So I put in the sun in that corner, peeking out from behind those cliffs. And then in a kind of circular motion, just started kind of bringing in some of those bee markers, focusing those more in the opposite corner where obviously the sun wouldn't be hitting the sky there as much. And I just try to keep it really light and soft because again, this isn't the focus of the whole card. So I added that to my background. I had brought in a yellow marker that was way too dark. So I just added a little bit of gel pen over that area. And then I'll go over that one more time with a light yellow marker and it'll just kind of help it fade into the rest of the coloring. I fussy cut out my images and then used a water-based black marker to edge them where you're just touching the ink to the edges all the way around so you don't see any of the white from your cutout. I added in my first shelf and then I'm adding my second shelf. I just knew I wanted my hula dancers kind of staggered just to help really emphasize that depth. To attach them in, I just added some liquid glue to their feet. I have her feet kind of on either side of this kind of sand dune hill, and if you just pinch it for a couple seconds, usually they stay put. The My Favorite Things die set also comes with like little strips so that you can cut them and kind of add them to the back to reinforce it, but I didn't feel it was necessary. So here is our finished little box scene card. I love this so much. I hope that you will continue on your hop for your chance to win the entire Sweet November Stamps Sizzlin' Summer set, all of them, the release. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. All those links that you need are down in that description box. I will see you back here next week, and until then, happy crafting, guys.